Hi, I'm Patrick and this is the Mach-E vlog. Today Ford announced some price cuts on the Mustang Mach-E as well as some other incentives for the Mach-E and the Ford F-150 Lightning. So we're going to go over those price cuts and incentives, but also cover a little bit about why this is happening and what it means for you. So let's go. We're going to get to sort of the whys all of this is happening a little bit later. I'll put a chapter link down below so you can skip right ahead if you're curious about that. But let's just dive right into the price cuts for the Mach-E, and then we'll move on to the Lightning. So right off the bat, here are the price updates and changes for the Mach-E. They range from $3,100 down to $8,100 down, depending on which model. So we're going to run through these really quickly. So the Select, that's like the base Mach-E, it's available in rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. These are all standard range. They're getting a price cut of about $3,100. So the new price for a Select rear-wheel drive is about $40,000, and the Select all-wheel drive, the new price is about $43,000. Stepping up to a premium, this gets you, a nicer sound system, automated lift gate so that you just push a button, features like that. That's getting about a $4,100 price cut. So the new, and that's only for the standard range. We'll get to the extended range in 1 second. So for the standard range, the new price for rear-wheel drive is about $43,000, and the premium all-wheel drive is about $46,000. And then the extended range, that is getting the biggest price cut across the board for the Mach-E, and that's $8,100. So the new price on the premium rear-wheel drive extended range is about $46,000. The premium all-wheel drive extended range is now about $49,000. This, I think, under $50,000 is a great price point, and it's, $49,000 is an awesome price point for the premium all-wheel drive. And there's some other incentives that we'll get to very shortly that are available. The California Route 1, which they have announced this will not continue to 2024. They're going to discontinue the California Route 1 all-wheel drive. It's sort of like in between the Select and the Premium, but it's only available in extended range and it's only available in all-wheel drive for 2023. It's also getting an $8,100 price cut, so it's also available for $49,000. So very interesting choice for you there. One of the advantages with the California Route 1, it has some smaller wheels, it's a bit more efficient. So it is a very good, like if you want all-wheel drive, it's your longest range option on the Mach-E. And then next up is the GT and GT Performance Edition. Those are getting a $7,600 price cut, and now it's getting pretty interesting because you can get a GT for $52,395 or a GT Performance Edition for $57,395. So a couple of things about that. The Performance Edition is slightly faster. It also, the biggest change for me and what I consider the biggest change is that it has MagneRide suspension. I think it's absolutely fantastic that it has that. It really changes the dynamics of the car and the ride quality. So the reason why this is all interesting is for 2024, they haven't announced many details, but this is another one that they've announced, is that they are getting rid of the Performance Edition, but they're going to make MagneRide standard on the GT. So who knows exactly some of the other details, but that's one big change coming for the Mach-E GT in 2024. But again, we're focused on the 2023. This is the inventory that they're going to be getting rid of. There's also some other incentives. So if you take any of those and you lease them, you get $7,500 off. And basically what that is you don't get a tax credit anymore with the Mach-E in 2024. So one of the ways that you can get the tax credit is by leasing it. And what happens is Ford claims the tax credit, and they're basically passing it to you as the customer by offering you this $7,500 leasing credit. So this is a loophole in the current federal tax credit, that is a bit controversial of like, why is it there for leasing customers, but not there for retail customers? And we could do a whole nother video on the tax credits. I have one from long ago before they changed the rules. It's now very complicated, so I'll leave that to other people. But in any case, if you're leasing a Mach-E, you can get a $7,500 tax credit, cash incentive in lieu of a tax credit. So it's you lose one, gain one. If you do want to finance, and this is getting even more interesting, because if you finance, you can get 0% APR for 72 months. And I think it's 1.9 for 84 months. Depending on your situation and what cash you're doing and your tax situation, it may be better for you to finance and get that 0% and just don't worry about the $7,500 tax credit. So that, you have to work out, those things on your own using various calculators or whatever. If you are financing, there's another interesting bit. You can also get $3,000 cash for financing a GT with Ford credit. So there's, that's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of really good price cuts if you're in the market for a 2023 Mustang Mach-E. If you are new to the Mach-E, you might be wondering, like, why are, these price reductions? Is there something wrong with the car or anything like that? We've had ours. We're getting ready to cross 3 years with having a Mach-E. We absolutely love it. We've not had any, big issues. When we first had our Mach-E, we had to take it in. There's a recall on the glass roof. On some earlier Mach-Es, there's a recall on the high voltage battery junction box. But Ford is taking care of that. So it's, if you're worried about any like major issues with the Mach-E, Ford has revised things. The glass roofs are all good now. The new high voltage battery junction box is all good. So I wouldn't worry about that. Our car's been fantastic. It's been getting over the air updates, so it's improving. We love Blue Cruise. So we're very happy with it. The same car that won a ton of awards in 2021, like EV SUV of the year, those type of things. It's still the same car. It's in some ways it's actually gotten better. The range, they've made some tweaks so the range is better. They've made tweaks to the charging curve, so that's even better as well. So that car that won awards has gotten even better. So if you are considering it, look at this as a great opportunity to jump in and get a Mach-E at an even better price. If you're like me and you own a Mach-E, this may not be the best news if I'm looking at trading in my car like right now. Obviously, this is going to affect used car prices. It'll ripple through. So that may be a big negative if you're looking at selling your car at this time or trading in your car, whatever. And it's sort of like the overall market is having a lot of these changes. So whether it is because Ford is lowering their prices or Tesla is lowering their prices, it's affecting the overall used EV market. And it's unfortunate. It's just the way it is. When we had our first Mach-E, we're on our second now, we took advantage of the reverse. The market was a bit crazy. We sold our first Mach-E for more than what we paid for it and got into the GT for almost like a free upgrade because the way the market was working back then. So this is the flip side. The market is having some issues, and we're going to get into that in a bit. I do want to mention that Ford has a new really cool like build and buy section of their website. One of the big things that people have been wanting Ford to do is make it more Tesla-like. In other words, you can go to the website, click on a car, hit buy, and you know the price, and the dealer has agreed to the price, all of that, and you get to see all of that. So Ford has implemented that on the current 2023 inventory, and then on the 2024s, when they do come out, you'll be able to like order specifically what you want, same type of thing as this. But here's just like a couple of the intro pages. I'm not going to run through the configuration. It gets very convoluted when I'm trying to like talk through it and navigate the website. But this is what the page looks like, and you can see here it has the new prices already in here for the Select, starting at just under $40,000, all the way up to the GT at starting at around $52,395. And then you basically click what options you want. You can select what battery you want on the premium and the GT. And of course you can pick like the color, and if you want like the interior protection package, whatever options you want, and it'll try to find one close to you that matches that. And if not, it finds ones that are very close to that as best that it can. And then you can literally add it to your cart. You can see all the pricing details, any incentives that you're putting in there. And then it has even the ability to look at financing and leasing options for you right there in the website. Very slick. You should if you're interested, go to the Ford website, give it a try. Very transparent, and a newer way that Ford is like trying to sell their cars versus you sort of like see what's in inventory, then you got to go to the dealer to get an accurate price. You can now do that for the Mach-E and the Lightning, I believe. I have to double check that, but you can do that right on the website. So pretty cool. Now let's get into the Lightning. Of course, we're a Mach-E channel, but a lot of our viewers are also interested in the Lightning. There's no price cuts on the Lightning as of today, no new price cuts at least, but they are doing some cash incentives. And on the XLT, you can get a $7,500 bonus cash incentive. On the Lariat, on the standard range and extended range, you can get a $5,000 retail bonus cash. And then on the Lightning Platinum, you can get a $12,500 retail bonus cash. And one of the reasons for the difference there and the big jump for the Platinum is that it's over the $80,000 threshold that will then disqualify you from getting the federal tax credit. And we'll get to that in 1 second too. There's also leasing incentives for the F-150, and it's $1,500, $5,000, and $7,500 on XLT, Lariat, and Platinum. So again, that $7,500, that's sort of reflecting that you don't get the tax credit on the Platinum. It's cool that they're also at least doing something for the Lariat and XLT. And as I was saying, so the Lariat, XLT, and the Pro, which you can't often get as a consumer, that's mostly for fleet customers. Every once in a while, they'll open it up and you can get a Pro as a retail customer. But for the most part, the Lariat and XLT are the ones that you'll have access to order or buy from a dealer. And those do qualify for the federal tax credit. And if the dealer has done all their paperwork, you can do it right there on the spot and get the tax credit basically right off the price of your car. Instead of like in 2023, you had to wait until you filed your taxes and then you could get file for the tax credit. So that's new for 2024 and excellent info for anybody out there shopping for a Lariat. And just going back, the $12,500 off of a Platinum is excellent, but the other tax cash incentives are a way to help move the Lightning as well. And there's been a lot of news, so now we'll start diving into like why all of this is happening. There's a lot of news about what's going on with the Ford EV market, the EV market in general, and then the new car market overall. Ford EVs are still selling at a pretty good rate. They sold more EVs in Q4 of 2023 than they have at any point previously. So the sales are still going up. Now, where the media has gotten it wrong a little bit is they're like sales are dipping or declining or whatever. And but what it really is like they're not going up as fast as Ford was projecting, and they're still going up, just not as fast as they were projecting. So then, of course, you also saw you may have seen like Ford is holding back some of their EV investments for the future. And I just want to remind people that they're still investing a lot of money. They're still building the Blue Oval City in Tennessee, which is going to manufacture their next generation truck. And it also includes a battery facility there. They're building 2 battery plants in Kentucky. They were both supposed to come online in 2025. They're going to complete both of those plants by 2025, but only one is going to come online. They're going to wait to bring the other online, and they're delaying a plant in Michigan, I believe. So they're shuffling some stuff down. From what I recall, it was about like $50 billion that they're investing in the EV transition. They're still, they've reduced it by about 12 billion. So they're still investing 38 billion, which is a lot of money. And that isn't, it's basically, they're delaying it. They've like put some things on hold because it's not ramping up as fast as they were projecting. So they're still going full bore. Last week, Jim Farley was at a global auto conference and was talking about like what Ford is doing. They're still like, Ford has to make the transition to EVs. They have to get a higher percentage of their sales to EV. And they have to be wary of the fact that Chinese companies are looking to enter the US market with low cost EVs. So Ford has been also secretly working on, with a skunkworks team, a low cost EV platform that Ford has, been developing for the past 2 years. I have a whole video talking about that and giving some more info and some of my opinion about that. So Ford is still going full bore into EVs. This transition is rough. They also talked about at the conference last week about how profitable the traditional Ford business is, which is Ford Blue, their fleet, and business side of Ford, which is Ford Pro. Those are both making a ton of money. They're losing a lot of money on EVs right now. And a lot of that is because of the investments that they're making building brand new factories. So it's sort of like the chicken and egg. They got to build these factories so that they can make a lot more EVs. When they make a lot more EVs, then their profits can come from the EVs. So there's a lot of work to do by Ford. They're not abandoning the Mach-E. They're not abandoning the Lightning. In fact, we were just talking about it the other day. It's sort of amazing. Like Mach-E is like 3 years old now. A lot of people have had theirs for that whole 3 years, and the support from Ford is still tremendous. We're getting over-the-air updates. I just got one 2 days ago that's did some charging improvements. So those type of updates are coming. We have some big ones coming up for Blue Cruise that we've been waiting on. It's been delayed, but it's still coming. And the biggest one that we're really excited about that's going to affect the Mach-E and the Lightning is by spring 2024, we should have access to the Tesla supercharger network. Because one of the biggest holdups with, for some people for EVs is the ability to charge it out on the road. We do 95% of our charging out in the garage, but when we do go on a road trip, more options is always better. And having the Tesla supercharger network available to us is going to basically more than double our charging options. So we're excited by that. A lot of people are excited to have that access. And in addition to that just coming in spring 2024, Jim Farley has announced and confirmed if you're a current Ford Mach-E or Lightning owner, you will get a free adapter sent to you, one per vehicle. And that adapter will let you connect to the Tesla supercharger network, and the integration is going to be seamless. And I think that's going to make the experience for a lot of Mach-E and Lightning owners even better, even if people don't charge out and about that often. Just having that knowledge that there's more options is going to be better for them, make their experience better, make road trips better. And as soon as we're able, we're going to explore that. We're going to test it out. We'll show you, all the ins and outs of charging on a Tesla supercharger with the adapter, hopefully by spring 2024. So we're excited. And I think that's another reason why this is actually a great opportunity. If you want to get into a Ford EV, it's perfect timing because there's a lot of exciting news coming for Ford. But going back to EVs, everybody across the board is sort of seeing these type of things with EV sales growth slowing, not EV sales slowing, but EV sales growth slowing. That's a key difference. But overall, it's applying to like the overall general market. So I had some slides. I'm going to just go over these just to show you like some of where the overall market is at. So here's price changes by brand. And you can see like the biggest price drop over the past year is over on the right side, that big blue bar. And that's Tesla. They had some really big price drops over the past year across all of their models, which is putting a lot of pressure on Ford and GM and Kia, whoever, to also lower their prices to stay competitive. whatever it means for the companies is one thing. What it means for consumers is we're getting better pricing on EVs, and that's fantastic news. Also for EV adoption as well. Cheaper EVs is what we need. Ford is over here on the left. You can see they've had some pretty decent price cuts. It's balanced out a bit by the gas vehicles. They probably have not. I haven't paid much attention, but I don't think they've had price drops like we are now seeing on the Lightning and the Mach-E over the past year. So, but you can see like prices overall, it's actually, I'll go to the next chart, have declined. So this orange line on this chart is the average price, and you could see basically, the result of after the pandemic and the supply chain issues. New car prices sort of skyrocketed. We had some, dips or whatever, as you probably do every year. But now it looks like we're finally seeing new car prices dropping. And in fact, compared to like a year ago, I think they're down like 5%, which is sort of unprecedented, not unprecedented, but it's sort of like a new twist because like inflation has been so high on so many things over the past couple of years, but to see new car prices actually coming down. And then this blue line, this is, like talking about the incentives and deals that have been offered by manufacturers. And even though we're starting to see some bigger incentives and stuff like that from manufacturers now, it's compared to just a year or so ago when there was basically nobody offering any deals on any car. It's still relatively low compared to historical values, but you can see how like prices are coming down, incentives are going up, and that's due to the overall market. The new car inventories, they're up over 50% from where they were at a year ago. There's a lot more cars out there, so you're not like having people fight over a limited supply of a particular model or a vehicle that's out there on a car lot. There's more and more cars that are available. So that's just, it could be either looked at as the cause of some of these price cuts, or it's symptom of a greater change in the market. I think it's a symptom of a greater change in the market. We're seeing a lot of people they can't sell their old car because they're underwater in their loan, so they can't buy a new car. If they go try to buy a new car, here's the other issue that people are running into now: interest rates. So just the simple fact that interest rates have skyrocketed over the past year makes it very difficult for people to get into a new car. And this is only up to September 2023, but it's been still pretty high for the past few months. Interest rates are a huge factor for a lot of people because there are very few people that are just doing cash to buy their car. And then when you go to finance, a couple of points in interest change makes your payment way, way bigger. And then if you add on to that, like you're trying to trade in a used car that you're underwater, you literally have to go in, you have to pay off the old car, give the dealer like extra cash because you're underwater. And then you also have now a high interest rate. So like you add all those factors in, and it's a bit of a crazy change in the market compared to last year, where it was basically the opposite. You would go in and they were just throwing money at you. And we had dealers all the time emailing us like, hey, are you interested in selling your Mach-E? We need used Mach-Es. And then it filters down as well, because then all of a sudden now you may be looking at a new 2023 Mustang Mach-E. You look at these great prices, but then you can look and see like there's a 2021 or a 2022 that's on the dealer's lot as well. That's an even better price. So there's a lot of factors that are at play. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts and what you think about the overall market for cars, the EV market. Where do you see things going? How has it affected you? And are you worried about your current Mach-E's value? Or are you looking at this as like, this is great because my next car is going to be cheaper? And if you're looking at a Mach-E, please, drop us a line if you have any questions about it. We have a lot of videos, obviously, about the Mustang Mach-E. We're getting ready to do our 3-year ownership update very soon. and update you on any issues that we've had, but talk about what we've really liked about the car, how it's exceeded our expectations in many ways, and what we're looking forward to in the future to come from Ford. So there's a lot coming about that, but I want to hear your thoughts as well. So feel free to drop down in the comments, ask any questions, give us your thoughts on these price reductions, the overall market, the EV future, whatever you want. Let's start a conversation down in the comments. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Of course, our Patreon members that have supported us for the past months and now years. We really appreciate you. We have Whisper, Engage, and Unbridled, just like the drive modes in the Mach-E, if you're unfamiliar with that, at the $2, $4, and $6 a month level. So thank you guys for sticking out with this every single month. We also have channel memberships. If you want to stay within YouTube, you get like some special perks there, and we're going to try to add more. Hint, we got some stuff coming. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and we really appreciate you, even if you aren't contributing monthly. Views are what helps pay the bills for us here, so we really appreciate that. And as Liv would say, just remember, whatever you drive and whatever your price you paid for it, enjoy the ride. Bye.